Hey, good morning. Let me share this in my Patreon real quick. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing today? Let me see. Okay, well that's good. All right, let me see if I can back this up a little bit. I got it a little bit too close. Um. Oh, well, I guess that's all right. No, we just leave it. Um. Okay. No, I'll leave it right there. Okay, how y'all doing today? And I'm gonna share this. Let me go ahead and share it real quick. Here we go. All right. Here we go. All right. So I got some stuff for y'all today. How y'all doing? I got some stuff for you guys. Go ahead and pull it up. And so we are coming close to the summertime. Yes, we are coming close to the summertime. And I think it's so important for us to have this conversation about ways to get our booth ready for the summertime. Springtime is coming. So we want to increase our sales this spring, and we want to bring in some money. We don't want to go out there and be taking the same products home that we took there. So that's what I want to talk about today. And it's pretty much like why you not selling. Why you not selling? Let me see if I can do landscape orientation. Rotate device back. Okay. Let me see if I can turn off this orientation lock because I realized that um my videos be better when I'm able to put it in a different screen. Let me see, that's the orientation. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so it's off, but I don't know why they're doing it. Okay, well, YouTube not gonna let me do it that way. It should be okay. All right, why are you not selling? So I talked to y'all last time we all came live and we talked about like my experience at pop-up shops and what happened to me. I believe that sometimes in my life I'll be the test tube dummy. Sometimes, in some cases, it'd be like I'll be the person that have to test something out to let everybody know, like, oh, don't buy them shrimp. Like, they nasty. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say test tube dummy, but sometimes I feel like I'll be going through certain things in order for me to teach a lesson from it. And I think that that's pretty much anybody in life who has a business or just, I don't know, you just like any kind of business or ministry. Like, it's like sometimes you have to go through certain trials or certain situations in order to come back and tell your congregation how you overcame it or what happened. So, number one, I have a person that I talk to every single day. Me and her both. She's more on the selling side. She sell a lot of products. Me, I'm on the going to start selling again, but just like figuring out exactly what I want to sell because I don't want a whole lot of stuff, and we're gonna talk about that. And so me and her talked about like a lot of our experiences from going to markets, and one thing we did notice was what was happening with our neighbors. Like, we could not help but to pay attention to the people that was around us. Usually people would say things like, okay, focus on yourself. But in certain cases and scenarios, you can't focus on yourself. You need to see what's going on around you in order to take tips and to learn from that and implement it into your business to see the success that they see. So, foot traffic does not mean that your booth is a money magnet, okay? Just because you get foot traffic, it does not mean that your booth is a money magnet. A cute display does not mean that people will buy. Okay, that's another thing. Having good products does not mean you will leave with profit. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing first. The first thing first is, let's talk about the first sentence. Foot traffic does not mean your booth is a money magnet. So you might just be at a busy event and you getting a lot of foot traffic in there. But let's just say that you at that event and you're getting the foot traffic, and at the same time you're not getting the customers to buy anything. You're not getting the people to actually, if you get the people to pick up your product and they like, oh, this soap is, it smell good. Smell this Sherry. Smell this Brian. Don't it smell good? And then they just put it back. But what about the people that say, oh, this look good and I want to buy it? What is it about that product that would make a person buy it? Like, what can you do to this product to make a person pick up and say, I want to buy it? Number one, packaging. Packaging is so important. Packaging is more important than what you think. Back in the day when you first started your business, you and I, we all can definitely attest. I know there's people on here that can tell me that when you first started your business, your packaging was just really terrible. And then as you went along, you start recognizing, okay, I want to increase in this. I want to make it look like this. And you start adjusting your packaging. And when you started adjusting your packaging, you start adjusting your sales change. So number one, packaging is so important. And that's something that I just want to say 1,000 times. So when it comes down to soap, what I noticed about soap is, because I got this in my hand, people like to see, they like to touch, and they like to smell soap. So what soap, my soap for me, and I tried various amounts of traffic. Various amounts of traffic. I tried various amounts of packaging. I'm talking about, I use so much packaging. I use the boxes. I use the shrink wrap. I use, what else did I use? Oh my God, when I first started, I was using any packaging. I used different types of boxes that had like holes in it and stuff like that. What really worked for me the best was those bags that I use, those sheer bags. Those work the best because people actually pick the soap up. They see, because I put like a little card in the inside of my sheer bag. I wish I had some with me right now to show you guys. But they all outside on my little storage on the patio. I don't have none here. But what they liked the most was they was able to pick it up. They had the labeling on the front. It was very clear labels. And that's another thing, like your packaging must be clear. It got to be straight to the point. You don't need to have all this extra stuff. You just need to get straight to the point. And also you need to make sure your name is clear, like your business name, like everything on your product is bold. But sometimes we make the mistake by making our the name of our business like really small. So you need to make sure that's bold so they can remember that business and come back to it. Another thing is, when you put your packaging and everything, like, make sure your ingredients list is clear, because some people come looking for the ingredients because they want to make sure that there's nothing that can make them allergic or anything like that. Another thing is, I'm an engaging kind of person, but I'm being real with y'all. I don't like to engage sometimes. Sometimes I like to get what I want to get and just go. I don't want to talk. I just like, okay, I want this cocoa butter soap. I want to get that. Hey, good to see you. I like this cocoa butter soap. I just want to buy this cocoa butter soap and go on about my business. I don't want to engage. So when you have those people who don't want to engage with you at pop-up shops, the very best thing you could do is have the price already on your stuff. So they don't have to come to you and say, excuse me, because if you got 6 people standing in front of you talking to you, and somebody is standing on the side to try to find out the price of a product, they're going to easily be like, you know what, never mind. Because they don't even really want to break up the conversation. Where I'm from, it's kind of rude if a person like, hey, everybody talking, everybody like, yeah, you know what? You know the crazy thing is there's somebody coming like, yo. You looking at that person like, excuse me? Like, so some people will see it as rude if they have a situation like that. So it's best to have pricing on every single thing. Okay. Another thing is important is how you set up your booth. And a lot of people did experiments over the summer and they were test tubing for us and they did like the Z shape and it was people who did like the L shape to see how that would work. They recognized that they had more people coming in and out of the booth when they had that Z shape going on because people were able to be right here. It was people that was able to be sectioned right here. It was people to be that was able to be sectioned right here as well. Another thing you need to make sure you do in the summertime with your booth, make your booth as cozy, as comfortable. Some people will call it like a hippie style thing. Yes, the organizer bags. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I use for my soap. I was just telling them that the organizer, I couldn't even think of the name of it. I was like, I use those sheer bags. But the organizer bags is the best thing that happened to my business because when I was selling my soap with the shrink wrap, I used to have to cut the top of it. And it seemed like, people say that shrink wrap take the smell out of your soap. I do not know if that's true, but this is what I've heard. I've had soap sitting in shrink wrap for a long time, but I come back to that shrink wrap and it's baggy. It's baggy, so it does not look good. So I can go to that organizer bag soap. I had soap that I made 6 months ago in an organizer bag and it looked just like I made it yesterday. Nothing has changed, no dyes, no nothing, nothing is faded off. The organizer bag keep my stuff looking as fresh as it did when I first made it. So I take a business card template and I design a business card template and then I go to Avery and I cut it out. Pretty much I put it on a paper cutter and I cut it that way instead of just ordering the business cards. But then I started going on Amazon and I ordered the business card template to make it quicker so I could just pop them out instead of cutting them. But if you the person that's like, look, I just want to go get me some card stock from Walmart and I want to do it that way, and you want to go get a paper cutter, you could do it that way. But you got to go to Avery and you got to trade. But anyway, long story short, people studied that when they did the Z shape, it was more beneficial and it kept the people in the place buying stuff. Another thing you want to recognize and realize is make your tent as comfortable as possible, okay? So some people say hippies. When they think about hippies, they think about like when a hippie have a setup at an event. You gonna go into that tent, they gonna have tapestry in the back. They gonna have like, the beads and all that kind of stuff. They gonna have some lights. And it's going to be like groovy, baby. It's going to make people come because it's like a cozier feeling. So what I noticed is carpets. And it may seem like, okay, this is DTM. You doing the most. You doing too much. But this little bit of a inconvenience that you may have, because of course it's going to be inconvenience because you got to carry more things from the car, will be the thing that bring you more profit. Now the Z shape make people more comfortable because everybody is not bunched together looking at products. You actually have things going in such a way to where you got people over here, you got people right there, you got people right there, and then you got that little table. Okay? You got that little table. So the next thing you want to know is how do I make it cozy? What do I do? So I'm going to, like I said, bring some carpets in. I'm going to bring like my shelving and stuff like that. I'm going to make sure. So I usually go to, if you guys can, go to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby every single year bring out these amazing, it's a shelf, but it has a chalkboard. Go on Google and search chalkboard shelf Hobby Lobby. Every single year they bring them out in the springtime, and if you cannot get it in the store, you can always get it online and they ship it to your house. And I don't know if it's free shipping because after a certain price, but I think I had to pay shipping. They don't really ship the heavy stuff for free. So the chalkboard gives you the advantage because people can come to it and be like, oh, okay, so the soap prices is right here on the chalkboard. Then you got the levels of soap. So people got it like, they can just kind of bend down or whatever. But what I did notice is some people will not go to that last level and buy this and pick the soap off of that last level. So for that reason, this year I've decided to invest in one more, and that way I can keep everything up high. Okay, so keeping everything up high and keeping people from bending down low. Because think about it like this: even when your grandmother drops something on the ground, she's like, "Baby, could you pick that pin up for me? Baby, could you get this?" People don't like to do that. And these are the things that you need to know, because these are the things that will literally hinder one customer. Okay, it'll be one customer, and you'll look up and you're like, dang, I could have got that sale. But it was because they wanted pink sugar. You had pink sugar, but they were too lazy to go low and get it. A lot of people make the simple mistake, and I know a lot of people are like, what simple mistake? What are you talking? I'm gonna tell you what that simple mistake is. A lot of people make this one simple mistake. They go to the pop-up shop and they think that everything is supposed to be on the table. Some people will think that if they set up their table and they stack all this stuff up on the table, people are going to come and shop from the table. Well, I'm here to let you know, a lot of people don't like to come close, like they don't like to even come close to the table. They like to stand far off. There are some people who are introverts that would prefer to just go to a shelf on the side and just stand by themselves and just take the wax melts and smell them all and then pick what they want to pick. So for that reason, you go to Amazon and you get a spinning rack, okay? You get a spinning rack, and those racks usually run about $70. And I know that some people like, hey, that's a lot of money to spend on a display. But think about it like this. When you do spend the more money on investing into that display and to get things the way that it's more comfortable, inviting, and it's going to bring in sales, you're not going to go home with those products. So if you begin to just make investments, it takes money to make money. So my friend right here, Chocolate Couture Company, she has a setup and she goes to pop-up shop and she used her setup. She had like her freshies and like these baskets, but it's like maybe like 3 or 4 baskets or whatever, like one here, one there, one underneath that. And she got her shelving, she got stuff hanging out on hooks, like to where so people can just pick it off the hook. You got to do it just like a store. That's the way stores set it up. They put their stuff on hooks and make it easier for people to get those things, okay? All right, so I got some more stuff. So another thing you want to do is, it's not about being cute. You want to make sure that it's about people being able to easily get it in. You want to make sure you cater to different types of sensitivity, personalities, those kind of people. Like, you want to make sure you cater to those introverts, those people who don't want to engage, who just want to grab it and go. Because I had a lot of those people or whatever. Okay, so your signage needs to work for you. What do you sell? What makes it special? Why should I care? Okay, so that's number one. You need to have signage that work for you. That signage needs to be, listen, I noticed one thing when I was going out through the summer. And this was, of course, let me tell y'all, I was out in the hot weather. It was so hot. And I was going out all summer long. Hey, and so I was going to this event called, it was like a nightlife event. And it was at nighttime. But it would start at 5 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock. And it would go on to like, hey, good to see you. It will start at like 4 o'clock and it will go on to 10 o'clock at night. And so when I would go out there, what I would notice is, it was certain things that kept people in my presence. Number one of the things that kept people in my presence was having a fan. It sounds crazy, but when you are out in a hot summer and somebody got a fan pointing towards you, because not only am I going to care for myself in a hot summer, and I'm going to have an electric fan facing me, I'm going to put a fan and I'm going to put it towards people. They have these little fans on Amazon and they are quite, listen, you can get on Amazon the same thing. You could get like you could get a solar charging thing where you can basically go and it lasts pretty much 8 hours. And you're not going to be there for 8 hours, but it lasts for a long time. So it's solar. You got those solar charging things where you could put and plug stuff in, solar outlet, solar generator, whatever you want to call it. They have smaller ones. They even have them on the TikTok shop where they last 8 to 12 hours. And it's a blowing fan that you buy, and the fan blows water. Another thing is, if you having customers come to your tent, it don't take nothing to buy a case. Listen, a cooler of water. It sounds crazy, but you got to think about it. When these people come out in the summertime to these events, and you got a fan, you got cooler water, the first thing they gonna say is, "This girl giving me water. This girl got a fan. Let me go ahead and just buy something." And that may just be a $20 customer, but because you took the time out and to bring a fan or just to bring a water or something like that, you can have those little tiny waters, you done got yourself a customer. What about the people who are just coming to, they're window shoppers or whatever the case may be? You will know a window shopper by their fruit. You will know them. It's like when I used to go out to the pop-up shops, I used to be like, he ain't about to buy nothing. He about to just stand here with these darn clamshells and keep darn opening them open and da-da-da-da-da-da. And those people normally, this is how you get rid of them. You start asking them questions. Is there anything I can help you with? Let me see. And when you start talking to them and you start disrupting their penny pinching thoughts, they start going in another direction because what they'll do is they'll sit there and they'll pop all your wax melts open, and you just see them just popping your stump open, smelling it, putting it back. Pop open, smell, put, and you done sat there all night. Because some of us, when we go to these pop-up shops, we don't just go to these pop-up shops and we just got up early in the morning and we got a full night's rest. Some of us go off for 2 hours of sleep. We up labeling all night, packaging all night, and probably pouring the night before, depending on how the week went. Because sometimes our week will just get away. So you got these people who will do that. And when they do that, stop them in their tracks. Is there anything I can help you with? Let me open these up for you because this packaging is so fragile. I want to make sure that it don't break or anything. Whatever you got to say, you will notice those people and then they will literally run off because they like, okay, I can't just be over here messing with her stuff. Because there are even children will come up and do that. And when children come up and do that, the first thing I say is, where is your mother? They're like, my mama over there. Did your mama give you money? No, I'm not. Don't touch it. I don't have a problem with saying that. If there's no parent around and they just coming up, touching my stuff and digging in my stuff. I had children dig holes in my candles. I've had children dig holes I had sugar cookie wax melts. And I had children literally take their finger and stick it into the wax melt because it looks so much like a cookie. So I would go home with damaged property because I was too afraid to open up my mouth and address the situation. You got to be able, listen, you're the one that's going to take a loss. They're going to go home, they're going to sleep at night, but it's your money in the end. You're the one that's going to take the loss. So don't be afraid to open up your mouth and speak for your products. This is not Walmart. This is not Target. They can't just go and put it on damage. These are things that come out of our pockets. And let's just be real. Sometimes people barely got the money to even purchase the fragrance to make the product. So that's something to think about. Open your mouth. Don't be afraid to open your mouth. I'm like, go, bye. And my kids be laughing. They say, Mama, you so mean. I don't care. I don't care. It says that another thing I want to tell you is, if you act like you don't care, people will keep walking. Sometimes you got to be the person to be like, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, good to see you. Hi. And some people will come walking over because you greeting them. But if you stand behind there and you just be like, I wonder when this going to be over. They're not going to care. They're not going to care. They're not even going to want to come up to your table. You have to engage with people. You have to literally be a salesperson because that is what you are there to do. You are a person there to sell. So you must act as a salesperson. Hey, you want to try this perfume? You want to try this so-and-so? Do you know that the people in the middle of the mall are normally charged thousands of dollars per month to stay in those booths in the middle of the mall? To rent out those booths, You will be very surprised. They rent sometimes can go up to $4,000 a month. You are the person that walk through the mall, and when they start calling you, you like, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. So in your mind, you thinking, how could they possibly get business? Because this is your mindset. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But you got Susie who just walked up and they called her. And Susie is the type of person who has a very soft heart. And Susie don't like to tell people I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Because Susie feel like that's a little rude. And just to let you know, there are a million Susies that's going to be like that. So this person tries this body butter and they like, oh, this is good. How much is this? Once the person put it on their skin, you have a win. When I used to sell my lotion in the pop-up shops, I used to just put a pump. They like, oh, can I try this one? Can I try that one? So I have my sample pumps out there. Never, ever, ever put your actual lotion on the table. Put those off to the side and just sit them back where people will know not to touch them if you do put them on the table. But they will open them up and pull them out the pumps and just take them out the pump and smell it. Always use samples at the table. Like, samples is so important, y'all. Make sure y'all have samples. So I used to do that, and they would put the lotion on their hands and they would smell it, and it would be a win-win every single time. Give people a reason to stop. Hold up a sample. Ask a question. Offer something interactive. Give people a reason to stop. Okay? It's a show. Okay, cool. Somebody put their nose in my body butter and I snapped. Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's what they do. They will dig in your stuff. They will literally take their finger and swoop right in your stuff and just walk off. They will put their noses in your stuff. Always have samples out for that reason. They will take your perfume and spray it all over their body. Have you a sample of your dog spray. Whatever you selling, have a sample out always. Talk about what makes your product special. Have you ever tried it? People love it because I use 100% da 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 da. I take out this. Use no synthetic products. Use da 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 da. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to tell people why your products are special. Let them know what's inside of the ingredients. This is cruelty-free. Let them know why this is cruelty-free. Let them know why this is natural. Let them know what you are using. Be educated. Educate yourself. I take pride in what I do. I always stay up late at night. Sometimes I'm up to 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up reading and educating myself on different chemicals and the adverse effects that it would have on the skin, the hair type, the blood type. I look into all of that. And that's why most of the time, and I'm going to tell y'all something, I had this Patreon for about it's been 2 years, going on 3 years, and I can tell you on my hands how many times I had people tell me those recipes didn't work. I've never had people complain. I've never had people just come to me and say they don't work. If they say they don't work, I ask them questions and I find out they changed something in the recipe and that's why it's not working. And the reason why is because I sit and I do my research and I say, okay, so the worst thing in the world is to come to a person and you got ingredients and you like polyquat. You using polyquat. And they like, well, what is polyquat? It's just something. It's not harmful at all. It's just something that I get from this manufacturer. You know what? Let me look it up on my phone. If you're not educated to tell your client what you put in your customer, what you put inside that stuff on the spot, polyclot is da 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 da. You should be able to just run it off like that. And so here's what we see. We see a lot of people making stuff, but a lot of people not taking the time to educate themselves on what they have, because it look crazy when you can't tell people the benefits, when you can't tell people what you're using. That looks crazy. All right. Your prices make no sense. Stop rounding down. Instead of $9.99, use $10. Instead of $24.99, use $25. If you have no value to your products, people will think that your stuff is worth nothing. When I used to be selling my dog spray, I started out selling it like I made the recipe in the summertime, I launched it in the summertime, and I went to the pop up shops and I was like selling it, and I was like, it was 2 ounces, so I was like, just $5. And it was like $5. Is this gonna be okay for my dog? And I was getting that response, and I'm like, no, it's really good. And I was spraying on their arm, and they like, this smells good. And they would smell it, they would feel it, and they like, I like it. But why are you selling it so low? You should make it. The customers started telling me that I need to make it $10. They started telling me I was selling it too low. And when customers tell you that, take heed. Because you could be lowballing yourself. Bundle your products, offers, make offers to people. Buy two, get one free. If you buy 2 body butters, you get 1 body butter free. And it could be equal or lesser value, however you want to do it. If you know what I'm saying? I normally do this. These are my containers that I use. And, this powder in here. This is not body butter. I have containers, well, I can't open it up because there's powder in here. But I have these containers, and they're about 4 ounces. And then I will have like 8-ounce containers. But you can offer them something else on the side. When I was selling my laundry soap, I would have buy this laundry soap, which was $20. I had my laundry soap and I was selling it for $20 for a 32 ounce. And then I would offer them free soap powder, like the fabric softener. The fabric softener was just salt, fragrance, and baking soda. It didn't cost me nothing to make it. It was just pennies. So I pretty much was selling my laundry soap. Now I was selling it for $30. I was selling it for $30, and I was making a profit because they felt like they were getting something for free. Like, I'm getting the laundry soap and then on top of that, I was using fragrances. Okay, there it is. Okay, I was getting fragrances like, let me know if you guys can hear me because it went black. I was getting fragrances like, Versace, Coach Poppy, Armani, and stuff like that. So they ain't never had no laundry soap that smelled like that. So they wanted to buy it anyway. Make your price invisible. Like I said, make sure you have your prices visible where people can see it. Try to put the price on everything if you can. Have people make it to where as though they don't have to come to you and ask you nothing but, how do I purchase it? Do you take Square? Do you take Cash App? Do you take Venmo? Do you take PayPal? Do you take, you get what I'm saying? Make sure that you go and make every account possible. Venmo, Square, Stripe, Cash App, PayPal, get in them all. Okay, all of them. Zelle, that's another one. Make sure you have all of those, open up all of those accounts, because some people will come to you and be like, do you take Zelle? And I'm like, yeah, I take Zelle. Do you take Cash App? Yeah, I take Cash App. Do you take PayPal? Yeah, I take PayPal. You make sure you take everything, okay? If your business isn't growing, it's not because of lack of support. It's just sometimes it's just because not enough people know about you. So how do you get people to know about you? Every single person who comes up to your tent is a possible continual customer, whatever, like a repeated customer, residual income. The first thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and print out on a clipboard an email list. Sometimes you can't get the email list by just, sign up at my website, Sometimes you have to physically give them a pen and say, hey, could you put your email on here? And they'd be like, sure. People don't mind putting their email, because once a month I do giveaways. Once a month I do prizes. I give out gift cards and stuff like that. So I just want to get your email so that if you select it, I could be able to give it to you, or whatever. However you want to word that, do it. Make it seem like you give away stuff, so you want your email so that you can include them in a giveaway. Like, I don't know you, but I got a feeling I'm probably going to see you again. Let me get your email so that I can send you some stuff, some information, whatever. I don't care. Just make sure that you get that email. Like, that email is money. Email is money. Every month I get a receipt. They come to me from a company that I use, and it basically tell me how many people they captured back because their email. And what I mean by that, they will go to my website, they will look at the class, and they would be like, oh, I don't want to buy that right now. I'll come back. Those people will leave, but they don't understand that on the internet, there are such things as cookies and all of that kind of stuff where they capture your email. Once they capture your email, that customer now will get an email that say, hey, you forgot to get your stuff in the cart. And I know you got those emails before too. You got to come back and get your cart. Like you left some things in the cart. And 9 times out of 10, those people will come back and purchase the things in the cart, because that happens to me all the time. It's honestly, it's like an alarm and a reminder, because I'll get so busy doing other stuff that I'll forget that I was even making a purchase. So when I get that email, it's just a reminder, go back to the website. So make sure you get their email address, because you can build up an email. And listen, email sales is very profitable. I woke up this morning shopping on Carter's.com because I got an email saying that they was having a sale. I get an email from Abercrombie. They tell me they're having a sale. I go in there and buy stuff for my son. I get emails from Children's Place and tell me when they're having a 80% blowout sale. I buy all the kids' summer shirts and stuff like that a season ahead of time. I just do it all the time because of those emails. So remember, emailing, it seems like old school, putting it on a piece of paper, but no, it actually does work. It's called email marketing. Email marketing. Okay, so another thing I want to say is your support can come from many different ways. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your river. You may not flow in this river. You may not flow in this river, but you may flow in this river. So what I mean by that, you might not be an internet person. You might not be this person that go and make sales at pop-up shop. You might be a person who go to the mall and have things set up in different people's stores. You just have to find your flow. Find your flow. And once you find your flow, then you will know like what works for you. And when you find your flow, stick in there and advance that to the best of your ability. If you have a barbershop that you selling air fresheners to and wax melts and stuff like that, keep going around getting more barbershops. If you have a like a nail salon that you go to and you give because I taught y'all how to make that stuff to put on your cuticles, the cuticle oil. If you selling them cuticle oils, keep going around to different, like you need to expand in that. If this is where you are graced and this is where you are blessed to be, keep working on that, keep perfecting that, and keep making that perfect, boo. This is me for 38 minutes. I wanted to give you guys something for today. I'm at the end of it. I will see you guys again next week, and I'm going to make my newest video for my soap week this week, so you'll see that posting as well. I hope this was some valuable information for you. I will see you guys again next week, and my baby is up now. She was taking her nap, so let me go and get her because she's about to come in here and bother me. But anyway, I will see you guys again. I hope this was valuable. You're welcome. See you guys again.